Hey, YouTube. It is Sunday, March 22nd. I don't call anybody on Sundays. I decided to make that a habit. Like, I call people every day, and most of the time, I don't even know if they're happy to hear from me. But on Sundays, I just don't call anybody. I just see if anybody's going to call me. They don't usually, but so I'm sitting here with my thoughts on a Sunday, and it's been a real, boring day. I took a really long nap. Just been like a cat today, just napping it out, going and munch and then drink and then go to the bathroom and then go take another nap. But and then when I'm up, I start thinking about I don't know different things that I thought like I wanted to do for I don't know. I don't know if it was for joy or for pride or for just a hobby. I'm not sure, but I mean, I've always been the kind of person that said, I can give you a pretty accurate assessment of my skills, my talents, my limitations. I pretty much know what I can and can't do most of the time. Sometimes I get surprised. Sometimes I'm like, I can do that, or oh shoot, I can't do that anymore. That sucks. I mean, sometimes, but most of the time, I'm pretty accurate about what I can and can't do. And so, I try to work with that. What does that have to do with lies? Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. You see, like people like to say, and it's a nice thing to say, like lift people up, keep rising. But I don't want to be jaded and cynical, but it seems to me that on multiple occasions when I was lifting myself up and rising, there wasn't a lot of cheerleading going on. Women and men, they both say these things, but when you start to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and you got some kind of groove going on and you found something that, makes you feel good or important or happy, I don't notice the cheerleading section going, yeah, you. They usually have oh, she thinks she's going to be successful or happy with that. Watch us squash it. And this is what I mean about lies. Okay, so for example, personally, on a personal note, I was trying to do an online business and I told you, it kind of went to crap because I worked on collecting and making stuff for my inventory. And whether people were interested in it or not, it wasn't like anything spectacular. It wasn't anything so rare that nobody else could do it, but I was doing it. This doesn't matter. I mean, just because there's one burger joint doesn't mean there's not 20 others that are good to go to, right? So that's how I looked at it. Yeah, it's okay if it's common. It doesn't have to be totally rare. It's still I'm doing it, Anyway, and then I realized, I'm okay at making some crafts or, finding cool collectibles, but I mean, I my best talent since I was, 5, since I learned the alphabet has always been writing. And I don't get the same satisfaction out of it that I used to, but it still feels good to do something that you're good at. Even like riding a bike. I can't do a cartwheel anymore. I can't really go ice skating anymore, but I can still get on the bike. That's something. Anyway, I had all these ideas. When I didn't before I got the laptop back. I mean, I had all these ideas. See, I was like handwriting this book, and this is the economics book I was writing. I know, an economics book. How random is that? Who the hell wants another economics book, right? Why does my opinion matter? The economics experts probably know better than me. Well, I had something to say. And then I started writing. I had this like manic, like I don't know, like I was in a think tank or something, and I had all these manic thoughts come one day when I was manic. And I was gonna write, this novel for well, it's not really a novel. Wanted to be like a screenplay. I could see this whole like vision of a really big movie, like big. It was like way bigger than, my YouTube stuff. It was like big, like, like a James Cameron Titanic big. And I started like sketching it out, and then I just, took the folder and threw it down, and I wasn't manic anymore. and I just like lost interest. And it's not that I can't write it. I have the skills. I have all the ideas in my head, but it's just and then another idea came. Then it was like, "Oh, I can write a musical. Actually, I could write a dance number. I could write a musical." I'm not a choreographer. What the hell is wrong with me? What makes me think I can, make some choreography? I don't know. This is the artist in me. I'm not a choreographer, but I can see a musical in my head. I can hear music and I can see dancing going on. I don't know. And I had this like sketch of a Broadway play I was going to do, right? That's three projects right there. Really random. A movie screenplay, a Broadway musical, and a freaking economics book. I know, right? And then I just threw all the my notes and everything on the floor, and I said, I don't care. I'm not gonna do it. Why should I? I don't have a cheerleader. I don't have a a a creative partner to toss ideas at. I don't have anybody saying, "Yeah, that's great. Let's do it." No, I never had that. I never had that. I've been that for other people, but I've never had that. Everybody's most of the time when I come up with something, it's, you're mediocre. You'll never succeed. Nobody cares. That's what I've gotten. So if I appeared cynical and jaded in some of my poetry or some of my videos, that's why. I have to chew on that lie all the time. Oh, yeah, be positive. Who's positive for me? Who really, really knows about my great ideas or really cares?